What's up everybody, welcome back to our 660 Raptor lawnmower build with a turbo. And if this gets you excited, make sure to smash that subscribe button. I did get an order in from BMI Carts. We got a bunch of stuff. They didn't package it very well. I'm not really impressed with their packaging, but we did get a bunch of parts. This includes our hubs and bearings and stuff, so we can start working on our chassis, get the bearings in the rear, get the hubs on the rear, and then start working on our two front to get the front wheels on. Now I know this might be a little bit sketchy, but the common size for like a go-kart hub is 4x4, which is 101.3, I believe, millimeters. And these wheels are actually 100 millimeters by 4. So I might have to oval the holes just slightly to get these things to go through there.
I'm in danger.
I'm gonna start by cleaning these up. We're gonna weld some plates on the back, make sure they're both the same height, get our bearings in there, oval out those holes, and get this axle solid mounted in here. And this video is brought to you by Black Sheep Industries Inc. It's our own company. You can find the links down below. First one in my link tree there. We do sell wastegates, blow-off valves, a bunch of fabrication materials. We also own True North Turbos where we sell turbochargers. You can find it all in the same place down below in the links. And it's brought to you by your favorite Canadians. And if you're doing a turbo build and you need a turbo or a wastegate or anything like that, make sure to check us out. Or if you know anybody who's doing a turbo build and need those parts, make sure to let them know. You can find the link down below. Black Sheep Industries and True North Turbos. So I got it in there, and I didn't have to put this plate in there. I probably could have used this frame because this frame's like 8-inch thick, but you know, this is just gonna make it stronger, And I'm gonna have to go in here and I'm gonna cut this out because we did move it around a little bit, make it further back, lower down. It's gonna be slammed. I think it's gonna work. All right, we can put our axle back in now. Let's use these bearings for mock-up since they're already full of grinding dust. Dang, Lucky, it's in there. Look at it. Just gonna assemble the hubs right now, and then these things just fit on the end, clamp down, and then our wheels should bolt onto that, and then we can be riding dirty. There you have it, 2 wheels mounted, solid. We can move it in further if we want to. Right now they're almost as far as out they'll go. Should be able to just sit on this. Well, this top bar isn't very strong, but it can hold my weight. And I'm a little fat.
I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
I did end up getting this one tire mounted. It's not fully inflated yet. You can see that the bead right here didn't seat properly, so I'm gonna have to probably take the air out of it, push it out, and put some lube in there to get it to seat good. That's gonna go up here somewhere. I do have this hub. This is what I bought. It's just like a regular go-kart hub and this little piece that we can weld to. I'm not gonna put any suspension in it right now, I don't think. It's just gonna be a solid axle in the front. I'm gonna find a place to put that. I wanna run a tube almost from the front here, the front clip, all the way to the back, and then weld it into the sides as well. And that's gonna give us some strength in this thing. Because I kind of want to tie the front bar, the engine mounts, and like the frame all into one tube going to the front, or 2 tubes going to the front. And that's kind of my plan. So we'll see what happens here. Let's get working on it. All right, here's my plan. I took this 1/8-inch bar here and I just welded some tabs on it. These hopefully are gonna hold this mount right here, and then we can get the back end of the engine mounted to the frame, and we can kind of tilt and play with it while we build our bars around the engine, because my original plan was to come with bars along here, but the engine's too wide, so I'm gonna have to go like underneath or whatever I gotta do to get this thing done. But that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to tackle that in place, and we can get our engine kind of in place here. Pretty much there. Or putting the dom hit on this. I'm on the bottom. Damn. Kind of fits in there. That would like barely fit where it is right there.
Just resting on it.
Yeah, I know. So this is probably going to work for now. It sits low enough that the engine still fits under the thing, and the turbo will have to fit down here somewhere, that's all. Down like lower than I anticipated to begin with. You know what? I don't even know why I built something half-assed like this. I hate it. I'm going to redo it. But it gave us a good idea where the engine's going to want to sit. So I'm going to get some bars out. I'm going to run the length of the bars from the back to the front where we want our front axle to be, and then I'm going to build off that. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to join a tube literally from 3 inches past this piece all the way down the inside. We're just going to weld it to this top seam right here and go right to the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some magnets here, hopefully. Get our tube where we want it. Well, it might be too long, maybe. Just like this. And we'll weld this seam right here. That way the body is connected to the tube. I believe the tube is 120 wall, so it's going to be a lot stronger. And then we can brace the tubes this way if we need to. And we can also, this also gives us a nice structure to push and pull with right here on the back. There we go, I just stitch weld along the frame here, and what I tried to do is I left the front a little long so I can cut it and notch it and put pipes in it, but it's sweaty, eh? But before we do any of that, I'm gonna get the tubing notcher. I'm gonna actually build 2 mock-up pipes just to make sure that everything stays square. So we're gonna put a pipe at the front here and a pipe at the back just so nothing like tilts inwards as we're welding it or anything. So I'm gonna do that first. All right, here's our 2 temporary pieces that might end up being permanent, you know, temporary, permanent. That's how it goes sometimes. They're just gonna slide in like this, and they're gonna keep the width for us. As you can see, this side narrowed up a little bit. Yeah, just like that. All right, now we can finally put our wheels back on, flip this thing back over the way it was supposed to be. And I specifically put this bar right here because our old engine mount was like right above it, and I want to drop the engine down further, so I'm going to cut this piece out when it's flipped over, and this is what we're going to build our engine mount off of, so the engine's mounted straight to something solid. It already feels way stronger. Front clip can come off just for a minute to save all these bolts. Now instead of holding the engine, we're actually going to use the engine hoist to hopefully get it up in place for us. How it has to go, I guess. So I went ahead and I built this little mount here for the back that just bolts through where the factory trailing arm would actually bolt to on this engine. And just gonna weld a pipe to the bottom of that and weld a pipe to our other pipe, and then that's it for the rear mount. Then we can get started working on the front mounts. There's a mount that was originally here. We'll have to build some brackets for that probably. And then there's one up here as well, and I don't know how we're gonna mount that one. I have to come up and around with a bar or something. You know what? It's coming along, and it's kind of peaceful in here. It's raining outside. It's perfect. Gotta eat though sometime. I keep forgetting to eat when I don't know about you guys, but I keep forgetting to eat when I'm in the garage. I'm kind of hungry now to think about it. All right, it's just tack welded in there decently anyways. And let's just see if it fits in there. Perfect. Well, it's on our rear mount. Our mount did bow out slightly here when we welded it, so once I jam the bolt in there and squeeze it together, it'll be fine. I'll have to finish welding up all this stuff, of course, but it is sitting in there. There's no weight on the engine crane right now. It is kind of just sitting on whatever it wants to sit on in the bottom, but yeah, that's the rear mount done. That's awesome. Now what I should do is I should pull the engine crane off, put the panels back on, and see how everything is going to fit, and make sure that everything still fits, like the hood and everything on this thing. Still fits in there really well. It is resting on this little black piece up in the top that can still be chopped out. I think it's like some sort of air filter thingamajig. But even still, it could go up slightly. So I think we're good there. The only thing I'm worried about is mounting the turbo, which it looks like we should have a ton of room down here, especially since this thing is a dry sump setup. Getting the oil back to the engine can be low. It's gonna suck the oil out anyways. See, the turbo should fit somewhere down low like this, or even a bit higher than that. And what's gonna happen is the exhaust is gonna come out of those two ports right there, go down into the turbo, so I'm gonna have to clock it, flip it up the other way. And then we can even put the intercooler somewhere like right here. Oh, that'll look badass, dude. It's all starting to come together. That's probably gonna be it for today, guys. Next video, we will get the front wheels mounted for sure. I have a rack and new steering column coming. And we'll get the front of the engine mounted for sure, and then maybe the turbo placement as well. It's all coming together fairly quickly. It's kind of cool. And if you guys have any suggestions on what I should do, or anything that I need to look out to buy, or anything I need to do to the car, make sure to put it down below. Subscribe to the channel, peace easy, and get that V.